On knife. It is in D2. I don't know the model. I'm not very familiar with this company. JT sent me another knife. It's a Boker that's completely washed away of any sort of name, so I actually had to shoot a message to him on Instagram just to get the name of it. Same for his ZT clone. I had no idea what knife that was, so I shot him a message to find out the names. He'll have to tell me the name of this guy as well. The bevel in it down at the base is much narrower than the middle. Not sure if you guys can see that very well, but so we got some issues going on at the base I'm gonna have to correct. The choil looks like it's pretty good. It looks like the sharpening notch extends past the plunge grind, so hopefully we won't get any recurve action. Everything else looks fine, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now I lapped and flattened all of my stones. They weren't too bad out of shape. Just took a quick lapping. I went through 46 grit, 120, 220, and 500 on the 1K, the 2500, the 3K, and the 5K. On this 240 stone, I went through 46 grit, and that was it. So it's got a very coarse texture on top. It's going to be very aggressive to start out with, but as I use it and it starts to shed grit, it should relax a little bit. Now this flipper tab is pretty large, so I'm gonna have to angle the knife in such a way that's not very comfortable for me. I'm also gonna have to go nice and slow so I don't bump into it. That scratch you hear right there at the end is hitting the inside of the sharpening choil. I've got a burr pretty much across the entire edge. I just need to work on this base a little bit. I don't like placing the knife at a 90-degree angle to the stone. When it's perpendicular like this, the tendency for your hand to rock and roll is much greater than when you have the knife at a 45-degree angle. Unfortunately, because of the way this flipper tab is, I'm going to have to do that to try to get down in there. that thinness appears to be a result of the knife being much thinner at the base than it is in the belly and the tip. So not really going to be a whole lot I can do unless I want to really alter the angle, which I don't. I want to leave the angle where it's at. Alright, I've got a burr across the whole edge. I'm going to kind of blend in what I just did. I'll tell you what, this kind of feels soft for D2. Maybe it's the thinness. It is pretty thin. I've already got a burr. That was quick. Still need to get it in the base. Still not there. I'm going to break some of this burr off, but I want to first try to see if I can get this other side looking a little closer to this side. No, the only way I'm going to be able to do that is to drop the angle. So I know nothing about this company, but their grind is not very good. You hear me scrape that sharpening tool because I'm having to get so damn close. I mean, it is right smack next to that flipper tab. This is the 1000 grit. The writing came off when I flattened the stone. Don't want to do that. Because I'm going slow, for whatever reason, I'm applying a little more pressure. I'm not meaning to, but for whatever reason, it's happening. This is going really fast. I don't know if you can see how that water is being left behind, whereas I've got a dry spot on the stone right there. Base of this cutting edge is not even touching the stone. I'm having to arc it up a little bit to get down in there. The Naniwa 3000 grit, Naniwa Pro. If you see a whole lot of black develop, you're going to know this is not a wear resistant D2. Yep, I'm going to be very interested in the cut test of this knife. My tape is right above the bevel, so it's hard for me to see if I'm hitting all parts of the bevel. This is the final stone, Shapton 5000 grit, Shapton Pro. think what I'm going to do is show you guys the bevel after I strop with the white compound. That way y'all can make your decision, or help me make a decision on whether those diamonds are doing anything good or bad to the edge. The only thing I can tell is that it gives it more bite. Now that's not necessarily saying it makes it sharper, just saying it gives it more bite. That could be just making the bevel, or the edge rather, the apex, more jagged. I'll let you guys get a look at this. It's like I need a little bit more up here. Kind of missed the shoulder. Of course, we're going to start with CBN Emulsion 2.0. That is 2 micron cubic boron nitride from Schwartz. I don't know if anybody else is making CBN emulsions. We're going to do 16 passes. That is if I can keep count. If I do 17 on one or 22 on another, it's not that big a deal. It's just stropping. We're not removing much, if any, metal. Just fine as these are, I would say we're probably not removing any. And I'm not getting black deposits on my strops. If I do get them, it's the bare minimum. Like I got a very, very, very tiny amount right there on the edge. I'm probably going to go back over all of these and recoat them. Don't worry, JT, I'll spray your knives down with oil. Or not oil, but alcohol. Because I did cut myself. So I'll make sure they all get disinfected before I send them back to you. But I think I'm going to go back over all my strops once everything's said and done. And give them one more coating of compound. I know I got every single one of them coated from top to bottom, fully saturated. But when you look at them in the light, I don't know, maybe if it's a steel deposit or what, it doesn't look like there's diamond in every spot. So we started off with 2 micron, then 1 micron. This is half a micron. I may need to take this tape off. It's like it's starting to build up on the bevel. At least get it out of the choil. That should be good. So that was half a micron. We got 1 left, which is 0.25. And I am bleeding like a stuffed pig. Let's look at this bevel and see if we see any difference. This one actually looks pretty good, except for the tip. Oh, that's cutting me. That's skin. It's a big broad knife. It's hard to do an S-cut. That is just an excuse I use when I can't do it. Appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Y'all have a good one.